I need to ride you. Me Grimlock say no! Me Grimlock say buy me dinner first!
You know, I had a lot of favorite movies growing up as a kid. I mean, there was Toy Story, and there was The Lion King, and whatever. But there was one movie that taught pretty much everything. And that was Star Wars, but also Jurassic Park. Why? Because it's big freaking dinosaurs, paid no expense. Ah! Growing up as a kid, I actually learned a lot about dinosaurs. I mean, I had all the books and whatnot, and tried to research as many names as I can. Until I realized there's a lot more names than I thought there was going to be, so I was kind of like, oh crap, now I have to learn all this, and then that's pretty much how I got out of dinosaurs. I mean, dinosaurs are still cool. I mean, they're big freaking things, and yeah. So anyways, with that in mind, I decided, hey, let's take a look at Transformers Age of Extinction leader Grimlock. So here is Grimlock in his alt mode, and he might be familiar to the Thing in Jurassic World, but actually he is a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Now some people are probably complaining that Tyrannosaurus does not have these horns in its head. Yeah, it also doesn't have all the spikes, and it's also not made of metal, so who really cares? It's not going to be accurate to the Tyrannosaurus Rex, so I'm not going to exactly compare it to it. Anyways, so here is Grimlock, and he is king, and he is very mighty. While there are people out there who prefer the Voyager version of the alt mode, I didn't have a counterpoint that basically was the point. This mode doesn't look that great. I mean, look at his short body, but it's so long at the same time, and look at how far back the legs go. I mean, maybe the feet are supposed to be part of the legs when it goes to Dino mode, but it just doesn't really work out. To be honest, though, it works out better than I thought it would, but, yeah, it's still not that great. The biggest unfortunate side is, look at the silver right there and how it suddenly changes to orange. Yeah, that's a very consistent color scheme you got there, Grimlock. The silver doesn't even look that good. I mean, look at it on the face. It actually makes the thing look ugly. That and the fact that it's a movieverse toy. Ha ha! Ha ha! Taking a look at the box shows a Grimlock with more orange, and at least that has more of a consistent color scheme. While Grimlock was not orange in the movie, I would have much preferred more orange than the silver. It just doesn't look right. Or hell, make him gray. Compared to the Leader Class Optimus Prime, there you go, and obviously they are going to be out of scale, but, you know, Leader Class and Leader Class, kind of what you expect. Though in reality, Grimlock should be about twice the size of Optimus Prime. At least he has some articulation in his arms. Yay! Couple of things you gotta watch out for is the pegs on this. Doesn't really look too bad right now, but it could get stressed out. I mean, it is that chrome paint. The body might not lock in as well as you hope. And you can kind of unlock things to give it more head articulation. Tail doesn't actually have articulation, so you can't necessarily shake that ass unless you do that. But at least the leg articulation is okay. His hands as the back of his foot. My, Grimlock, what pretty blue eyes you have. Transform! Age of Extinction Grimlock might have the most complex transformation of them all with the Age of Extinction new molds. Slog might tie with him, but I'm not necessarily sure. Maybe the most difficult thing to transform is the feet, especially when going into dinosaur mode, because you have to have it in a certain way and you always forget. But once you get used to it, it's not really that bad. And here's Age of Extinction Grimlock in his robot mode. Now, he is not the perfect figure, I can tell you that. But I gotta say, I don't hate him either. It's kind of weird. I have a love-hate relationship that's actually going towards like more than hate. And I don't exactly understand why. Maybe it's because I actually watched Age of Extinction and now realize this isn't as far off from Grimlock as I thought it was going to be. I know everyone praised the Voyager one for looking so great, I guess, but this one actually really isn't far from the apple tree, whatever, however that reference is. Grimlock has two weapons. He has this giant spiky hammer thing that he can call lightning. Oh wait, that's the wrong franchise. And he's also got a shield thing, which you can plug on the shield right onto there. Or maybe you can't, and maybe I'm an idiot. There we go. So now Grimlock's got a couple of weapons. Oh look, it's the shield that can stab you. I'm not sure if anyone else has figured this out on the Grimlock, but there are two pegs down here, and I was kind of wondering, well, where do they go to? They don't really go to anything except for to help the transformation. But they look like the 5mm pegs, so what are they doing here? Well, I found out that you can actually plug the shield onto the back of that, so I guess that's actually storage. I mean, ta-da! You can also, I guess, transform the tail and just slide that in.
Me Grimlock weapon storage like a pro!
And now he could challenge Optimus Prime, which, by the way, there's the size comparison, and yeah, Grimlock is totally out of scale. I think we've all figured that out. Also, this teeth pattern is so last season. Grimlock's articulation is kind of weak in some places. I mean, he's got some feet articulation, which is good, but it's crooked. So you got some awkward feet articulation. I guess this is for Dino mode to click this in so that he's not doing the splits, but the arms like to snap into place. And it's not like it's a ratchet joint because you open these up and then it's free motion. No, that purposely happened. That was actually purposely made so that the Dino mode doesn't do the splits. And now let's talk about the color, because the color is a major issue on this figure, and I already talked about this in the Dinobot mode, but let's go ahead and talk about it in the robot mode. I do believe that Hasbro decided to look at some Takara figures, and they were like, wait, people like the metallic paint job? You know what? Let's give our Hasbro toys some metallic paint job. Well, the problem with that is, other than making some silver detail to kind of help pop things out, they decided to paint whole pieces in silver. And that doesn't help because it doesn't break itself up and it doesn't make for a consistent color scheme. It's not great. Plus also, like, you got these major pieces painted into certain things that the little splashes of detail are pretty much just on the head, the dinosaur head including, and the arms. And that's pretty much the main points. I mean, yes, this has also been painted, but it's just one big thing of black. I kind of feel bad for Hasbro. I mean, they've been trying to do different things for the past couple of years. I mean, after Dark of the Moon, they wanted to keep Transformers simple because Dark of the Moon was pretty much a mess. I mean, look at Jolt, look at Mudflap, look at Skids. So they tried to simplify the figure to make them easier, which I totally understand. And a lot of people are complaining about that. And a lot of people are complaining about the silver on some of these figures. It's just too big. And also a bunch of repaints and whatnot, but that's another story.
Clown shoes?
You ever think that someone takes a look at Grimlock's shoes and go, what are those? At least he has wrist articulation. Thank God, an Age of Extinction figure with wrist articulation. I didn't bring out the whole Dinobot team, but I did at least bring out Snarl to compare to him. And I like that. I like the size. I like how Grimlock is this massive character, and he's got all these minions all around him. It's just, it's lovely. And then for more size comparisons, there you go. Taking a look at his head, I actually really do like the paint and the detail on his head. I wish his eyes were red in a way, but I like the blue altogether. I just, something about it I really like. So that's Age of Extinction Grimlock. Let's go to my overall review. So overall, do I recommend Transformers Age of Extinction Leader Grimlock? I would say that I would, if you like the representation in the movie. If you don't, of course I don't recommend this. You're not going to be happy with this. Don't tie yourself too much with the Generation 1 version of Grimlock with this guy, because he's actually a pretty good representation of the version in the movie. And that's what he's trying to represent. Sure, the paint is not good, but honestly enough, I thought that I would hate this figure from paint alone. And guess what? He's actually really not a bad figure. Like, overall, I really do like this. I don't know what it is exactly, but I don't think this figure really does terrible with its representation. So anyways, that is pretty much it. I thank you guys for watching, and I'm the Canadian Reviewer, and I'm going to eat some bacon!